Alright guys, we are back, and in this lesson we're going to be going over how to set up your campaigns for success with what we do with the $100 a day formula, right? So there are a lot of different ways to run Facebook ads. I want to be very clear, right? And you've probably heard from other Facebook experts or other people about the best way to run ads, guys. And that's fine. There's so many different ways to skin a cat when it comes to running Facebook ads. But what I'm going to teach you guys today in this lesson is what we do and what I do to have success, right? I don't care what anybody else does. I want to just share with you and teach you what I do, because that's the only thing I can teach, right? If I'm not doing something, I'm not going to show you how to do it, guys. But this is what I've used. This is how I've set things up for success, and I want you to have success with the same type of format, right? So here's the way it works, guys. So right now we are in my Facebook ad account. Now, if you haven't set up an ad account yet, make sure you go back to the previous lesson and watch that video, guys, because I go over overview with Facebook, how to set up your business managers, how to set up your ad accounts so you can have the most success possible. So make sure you guys check that out. All right, guys, so you can see on my screen, we are in my Facebook ad account. Now, this is kind of a dummy account that I have because I want to share with you exactly how to set up and kind of go with a blank slate. I only have one campaign that I've ever run in this account, okay? And so the way it works is very, very simple. So what you're going to do, guys, is first of all, you want to make sure you have your offer that you want to promote. You have your landing page built out. Make sure you guys check out the other lessons and the other courses on how to set up your landing page, and obviously we'll cover that as well. But once you have those two things set up, then obviously come back to this lesson here, and this is where you can actually set up your campaign and get set up for success, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all go over the kind of overview of what a campaign structure looks like, right? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to have your campaign level, okay? Your campaign level is essentially where you decide what you want to do and what your objective is with the campaign, right? If you want to get people to click on it, right, you'd have a traffic campaign, right? If you want to have people to buy something, you'd run a conversion campaign. If you want people to like your page, you'd run a like campaign, okay? And so we'll go over that. But that's the top structure, is your campaign level, okay? Below that campaign level is your ad set level, okay? Now the ad set level is where all of the targeting takes place, okay? So when I say targeting, I basically mean who you want to show the ad to, okay? So if you have a weight loss program, you want to put it in front of people that are interested in weight loss, okay? And I'll show you how to do that as well, right? And then finally, right, the last step is your ad level, okay? The ad level is what the actual person that's on Facebook, that's scrolling on their Facebook feed, is going to see, okay? And that's where you're going to put your ad copy, that's where your images or creatives you're going to use, and that's where you're going to post your link to your landing page, which we'll go over as well in just a bit here, right? So once again, campaign level is the hierarchy of where you set up your objectives, right? Traffic campaign, engagement campaign, everything like that. Ad set level, where you do your targeting, who you're going to show the ad to, and then your ad level is obviously what the ad is actually going to be shown to the person that is going to see that ad on their Facebook feed, right? And that's how it works, guys. So here's how we get set up. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on Create, okay? So I want to go ahead and click on Create. And once I do that, you're going to see this happen right here. You can see it says create new campaign or use existing campaign. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and create a new campaign. That's super important, okay? Now, as I said earlier, right, when you're at the campaign level, you can choose the objective, right? So you have awareness, so brand awareness, reach. You have consideration, which is traffic, engagement, which means getting people to comment, like, and share. You have app installs, so if you have like a mobile app, not something we have to worry about here. Video views, if you want people to see more of your video, right? Lead generation, if you have a opt-in form or a contact page, you want people to fill out their information. Messages, so if you want people to actually message you on Facebook Messenger. If you want conversion, which is probably the one we're going to use the most, but conversions are the ones we're going to be able to get things set up, right? So we run our conversion campaign, so that's going to get us more purchases and everything like that, okay? So depending on where you are in the process of setting up your ads will determine which campaign you're going to choose, right? So if you have a brand new account, okay, and you have a brand new fan page, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set up a like campaign, okay? So the way to set up a like campaign is I would essentially go here, right? And when I go there, I'm going to go, and it says post engagement, and I'm just going to go to page likes, okay? And then when I go to page likes, right, you can name your campaign now if you want, or you can name it later. I usually just do it later on, but that's how you set up a like campaign right here. I go ahead and hit continue. Now, when I go and hit continue, okay, what's going to happen now is I'm going to go to my ad set level, right? So I'm going to go ahead and name my campaign. So I'm going to say Robbie's like campaign. all right? Because I want to get people to like my fan page, right? Because in order to run ads, I want to warm up my ad account first, and I want to get people to like my page, because if I don't do that, I'm not going to be able to run the most important ads, which is our conversion ads, okay? Because we have to make sure we have a page that is warmed up and ready to go before we can run conversion ads, okay? So we have Robbie's like campaign, okay? And then, so you can see here, guys, we're good to go there. Next step is I'll go ahead and just go to the next step, which is the ad set level, which we talked about, right? So I got my, and I want to label my ad set, so I'll just say ad set 1. I'm going to target US fitness, and I'm going to say women, and I'm going to do age range. I'll just say, just for the heck of it, just do 25 to 65, okay? And that's the reason why I label it that way, guys, is because I want people to, I want to know, first of all, for myself, at a quick glance, hey, what is this ad set targeting, okay? That way I don't have to open it up and kind of go through the process. It's just an easier way to kind of know what I'm doing, okay? So we have that set up, and the next step is I want to choose my fan page that I want to send likes to, okay? You can see here, it's already pre-selected. It's the Fitness Daily. And that's what I'm going to set up there, okay? Now for budget and schedule, all right? Your budget obviously depends on your own, kind of personal finances. For me personally, when I'm running a like campaign, remember, when you create that first ad account, we have to spend at least $25 to get those other ad accounts unlocked, okay? So just keep that in mind. You need to spend a little bit of money to get this going before you dive into it, okay? So I'm gonna start with a daily budget. I'll just leave it at $25 for now. One thing I do recommend is where it says start date, okay? I'll usually set that for the next day, and I usually will start around like 3 a.m. my local time. So if you're in mountain time, like you'd set it for 3 a.m. your time, right? Whatever time your ad account is in, you would set it for that one, okay? And now the reason why we do that, quite simply, is because, say for example, if I were to set up my account now at 1 p.m., and I would just set it for $25 per day, and it gets approved by Facebook, it's gonna spend that $25 in that short period of time. It's not gonna spend it in the full day, it's gonna blow right through it, okay? So I'd rather start the next day so it has a full day to spend the amount, okay? And that's the way I set that up. Now, as far as going through the next section, which is our audience tab, okay? Oh, and one last thing too here, you can actually set an end date to your ads if you want. I personally don't do that. I like to just let them go ongoing, and then I'll just pause them when I want to stop them, okay? So we go to the audience tab. Now when I go to the audience tab, I'm just going to go ahead and select, you can do a custom audience. So if you have those lookalike audiences that we talked about earlier, you could set that up if you wanted to. Locations, so obviously you can select different locations. So for this ad set, I know I put US, but if you want to target, say Canada, for example, you could certainly do that. There's all these different things you can kind of target here, which will be pretty cool, okay? And once again, I'm doing just United States just for this example, but if you want to target other countries, you can certainly do that, okay? So let me go ahead and delete that. All right. Age range, right? This is where we select our age range. So as I said in that ad set, I want to do 25 to 65. All right, so I'll just do 65 here. All right. Genders, I'm probably going to target just women. Okay. Most weight loss offers, health offers, I'm going to gear towards women for the most part. Okay. And then that's what I do. So now my targeting is all dialed in. So now when I set up my ad, it's going to go and show just the people who are in the United States that are women that are into 25 to 64 in that range, right? Now, the other thing you can do here, guys, is if I want to get a little bit more specific, right, because I have a weight loss offer or a fitness page, right, I want to make sure I show this to people that are interested in weight loss, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and type in weight loss. And you can see here, guys, there's a bunch of different things that pop up here. So, and you can see on the right-hand side, you have your size of the audience. So that's how many people are in this audience. So look at this one, guys. You got weight loss, 232 million people. That's a lot of people. So I'm going to go ahead and select that up, and boom. All right, now our audience definition on the right-hand side says 22 million people could potentially be reached by this audience, okay? And you can have more than one, you can have more than one audience if you want to, or targeting if you want. You can do like healthy diet. So the key is to try different interests and see which ones work best, okay? And you can see the estimated results here. Now, the next step, we go to placements, okay? So there's two things. There's automatic placements, and by placements, it means where the ad's gonna be shown, right? It's gonna be shown on just desktops and laptops, or is it going to be shown on just mobile, or is it going to be shown on both, right? It's going to be shown on Instagram. It's going to be shown on your Instagram stories. It's going to be shown on Facebook, right? This is where you're able to decide where you want your ads to be shown. For me personally, I like to start automatic just because I like Facebook to do the heavy lifting for me. And then once I get data, then I'll go ahead and I'll go to the manual placements tab, which you can see here, and then you can select, whatever you want to select in terms of targeting, okay? Or placements, I should say, okay? But I usually like to leave that as automatic to start, okay? And then once we have all of our ad set level targeting done, I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And then from here, I'm just going to go into my ad level. Okay, now my ad level is where I'm going to set up my actual ad itself. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to go ahead and change the image. Okay, and I can actually look for a couple different images here. Let's see if I go to stock photos. For a like campaign, typically I'll do a stock photo. Just because it needs to be just pretty simple. So let me see here. Let's search for fitness, and I'll just go ahead and select a photo. Let's see what we got here. So this one here, hit continue. And then that is going to update on the preview. Okay, so there we go. So now we got our image, we're good to go there. And now we have our primary text, which is the copy that's going to be above the image. And I'm just going to do kind of a very generic copy here, because for the like campaign, the whole purpose of a like campaign is just to warm up your ad accounts to get likes to your pages. You don't have to be super crazy with your ad copy. Okay, so I'm just going to say something like, "Welcome to the Fitness Daily. We love all things health and fitness." And that's it. That's all I'm going to type. Very, very, very intense, right? So I set that up, and then all I would do is hit publish, and then guess what, guys? Then it would go into a review, and then Facebook would say, all right, you're good to go. It's been approved, okay? So that's the first step, right, is setting up your like campaigns. Now, the next thing you want to do, guys, is say, for example, we have our like campaign set up. We're good to go. We have everything good to go here. Let me go ahead and just make sure I delete this campaign here before I forget. Now, keep in mind, guys, if you do delete a campaign, just make sure you really want to delete it, because you won't be able to get it back. Okay? So let's say, for example, now I have my account warmed up. I'm good to go. I got my like campaign set up. I'm all ready to go. Now the next step is setting up a conversion campaign. Okay? So how do I set up a conversion campaign? Well, I'll go through the steps. Once again, instead of selecting engagement, I'm going to select conversions. Okay? I'll go ahead and hit continue. And I'll go through the process of setting up everything here. Okay, so once again, ad set 1, and I'll just name it. You can name it whatever you want to do based on your targeting, based on who you're trying to advertise to. Okay, so make sure that's all set up there. Okay, so we'll just say ad set 1. We'll do women. We'll do 30 to 50 this time, and let's just say we'll just leave it as that. Okay, weight loss interest. We'll put in weight loss interest. Okay. Oh, and that's campaign name. All right. So let me see here. So let's say I want to promote proven offer. All right, there we go. There we go. Cool. Now we go here. Go ahead and hit next. So this is what the ad set name would be, right? So ad set name, ad set 1, women, 30, 50 plus. Then we got weight loss interest. Okay, cool. Now, here's where I'll get things set up, right? So now I go into my conversion event, right? So when I go here, right, I got my conversion event. Now I need to select a pixel, right? So make sure you have your pixel selected. Just for the heck of it, I'll select this one for now, just so we can get it processed. And then we got our event. We're going to select purchase. Dynamic creative is something you can use. You don't necessarily need to use that right now. Basically what that does is you're able to upload multiple images, multiple copies, multiple variations, where you can kind of decide what you want to set up. Personally, I think it's, for what we're trying to do in this training, you don't really need to have dynamic creatives right now. I think you're fine without it. But if you want to use it in the future to test and split test stuff, you can do that, okay? Daily budget, I'm going to keep it $20 a day. I'll have this bad boy starting tomorrow at my 3 a.m. local time. Okay. Audiences, right? So I'll go ahead and select my audiences, select what I want to do. Once again, if I'm going to target, say I want to target, 5 countries this time. So I'll go Canada, right? I'll go Australia. I'll go New Zealand. And then I'll go, let's go UK. All right, cool. We're good to go there. Age range, once again, I said in this ad set, I want to do 30 to 50, right? So I said 30, and then we select here. So we got 50. Genders, because it's gonna be weight loss, I'm gonna focus more on women. Not to say that guys don't buy weight loss products, but you know the market is more geared towards women, especially with Clickbank offers. It's more geared towards appealing to women. Okay, so keep that in mind. Also, guys, if you wanted to, you know, just kind of as a side note, if you were promoting something that is not in the English language, so there's a lot of offers on Clickbank that are in other languages like French and Spanish, you could certainly target those on Facebook and just make sure you change your language to the language you want to do. So if you want to do Spanish, you type in Spanish, but for the most part, you would just keep it with English, okay? Because most of the offers are going to be in English, all right? Placements, we want to do just automatic placements to start, right? Good to go. And then we go from there, okay? Now, this would be the spot where you would set things up with your actual ad itself, right? So I would go in and I set my ad, right? Add one, and then I would go select my fan page. Here is where I'd add my images, okay? So I'd select my media that I want to add here, okay? And then from here, I would go into and add my copy. So my copy would be set up here. My headline, so let me just show you, give you an example. So we'll just do a placeholder here. So let me just go ahead and upload a stock photo here. So fitness, boom. All right. All right, cool. So you can see here on the preview, there you got the image there again. The text, now the text, because we're running a conversion campaign, we're obviously going to cover ad copy a little bit more in depth in the other course, in the other lessons. So, but the purpose of this is just to show you where you'd put that copy. Okay, so this would be where your ad copy would go. So you'd put your ad copy in here. All right, headline would go here, and the headline, once again, would be below the image. Insert headline here. And description would be below the headline. You certainly don't have to put a description in, but you can if you want. Website URL. That's going to be your landing page URL, okay, which we'll cover in the other course and other lessons. And that's where you're going to put that URL in there, okay? And then your call to action, which is your call to action button, right? You have a bunch of different options. For me personally, I think learn more is the best one to do. You don't want to have like sign up, or you don't want to have join now, because, you know, once again, you know, we'll talk about this a little bit later on, but you don't want to sell from the ad. You just want to pique curiosity, okay? And so by doing that, you want to make sure that you're, you know, if you have a sign up button, guess what? When people say sign up or join, and subconsciously people are like, oh, I gotta buy something, right? Whereas with learn more, oh, it's a little bit more non-committal, okay? So just keep that in mind as well. Going down the line here, guys, you got your pixels set up, you're good to go. And then all you would do is once you get your copy set up, your URL, everything you need, you go ahead and hit publish, and you are good to go, okay? Now, once you set that up, and we'll just go ahead and exit out of here for a second. Once you set that up, okay, you'll see here, guys, I didn't hit publish yet, but after you hit publish, look, guys, I have one ad set, right? I have one campaign, I have one ad set. We're not just gonna stop there though, right? We're gonna go ahead and actually create more ad sets, right? Now, you're probably saying, you know, I would say recommend 6 to 8 ad sets in a campaign, okay? At $10 per day, okay, for each ad set. Why? Well, the reason why is simple, right? It comes down to, I use the example of fishing, right? If you are on a lake and you're going fishing, say you have one fishing pole, right? Are you gonna catch fish? Yeah, maybe, you might catch some fish. What if instead of having one fishing pole, you had 6 fishing poles in the water, right? Or 8 fishing poles in the water? Do you think you're gonna increase the chances of catching more fish? Well, the answer is yes, okay? Same thing goes when it comes to your campaign, right? And that's why we set it up with our multiple ad sets. I don't just have one ad set. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm going multiple different ad sets. The reason why is because I'm increasing the chances of catching more fish, which is people buying the product I'm promoting, right? And that's super important, right? And so that's what we want to do, guys. And so I recommend, you know, doing the process, same process we did here, but repeating it another 4, 5, 6 times, okay? So that way you finish your campaign, you have about 6 to 8 ad sets ready to go. And then what you would do is obviously the ones that are doing well, you keep them going. The ones that are not doing well, you turn them off and create new ones, right? Until you find the ones that are making you the most money, guys. And that's what it's all about. Now, what is the difference between the different ad sets? It's a great question, right? Your creative, which is your copy and your images and everything like that, would be the same. The only difference on the ad sets is your targeting, right? So your targeting is a little different. So as I mentioned before, if I go in here and say, for example, in this ad set, in this targeting, we targeted people that are interested in weight loss, right? So let's say I wanted to target people that are interested in a different interest. Maybe I want to target like TV shows, right? Or say I want to target like The Voice, for example. Right? Because people and women watch this, right? So maybe I target people that are interested in The Voice. Maybe I target people that are interested in lookalike audiences that I set up, which we talked about in a previous lesson, right? So that's what it's all about, guys, is finding different audiences that we can try to test and target and find that sweet spot, right? Because once we find that sweet spot, man, oh man, we can do some really, really cool stuff, guys. And that's exactly what it's all about, guys. So in the next course, we're gonna be going over something that is super, super, super important, which is ad copy, right? I'm gonna go over what you need to say in your ad copy, what not to say in your ad copy, and how to make your ad copy be so powerful that people wanna click on your ad and buy the product you're promoting, guys. So we're gonna cover that all in the next course, so I'll see you in there.